YouTube. Welcome back to Afropop E, bringing you the latest and sweetest tea in the African music industry. So lately, Tyla has been causing a lot of commotion following the recent VMAs. She attended the VMAs and received an award for Best Afrobeats Artist, lol. And she said that she could not hold her award because it was too heavy for her. You all know that Tyla is quite petite, and then she stretched out her arm and asked one of the people who were on stage with her to help her hold her award. It turns out that Little Mermaid, Miss Hailey Bailey, and Lil Nas X were the ones who were presenting Tyla with her award. So this ended up causing uproar because people feel like Tyla was trying to treat Miss Hailey like the help, and thankfully Lil Nas X stepped in.
You guys know me and holding awards. I'm not strong enough. Please. Are you able to open me? Yes, thank you. I'm sorry. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh. Firstly, thank you. Thank you, my Tigers. Thank you, MTV, my team, God, everyone.
Anyway, so following this incident, there have been so many comments on this issue. Some people have been making fun of the entire incident, others are really taking it seriously and sharing really strong opinions. Someone joked that Tyler is so small and fragile and soft that her VMA's award should be holding her and not the other way around. I thought this was really funny and humorous, but believe it or not, not everyone has this humorous or light-hearted approach towards this entire issue. Some people have actually taken it to heart, and someone was saying that Tyler should stay over there in Africa because America are not going to tolerate her attitude. Yo, I think some people are just blowing this out of proportion because I don't think Tyler meant it in a bad way. Of course, I get how it looks. I understand how it looks, and I don't think Americans are being crazy by saying that Tyler was trying to treat Haley like the help. But I think it's good to consider the intentions. I'm sure that was not her intention. And you need to consider that the VMAs are so publicized, and maybe Tyler was just nervous. She did not think about how it would look. And a Pound Cake was saying that Tyler said, I'm colored and you're black, hold this. So according to a Pound Cake, she thinks that this is all about race and color. So it's like in her head, she thinks that Tyler was thinking, my color is lighter than yours, which is crazy because Tyler and Haley are actually almost a similar color. So in fact, if Haley were in South Africa, I think she would be colored. She would be termed as colored because she's almost as light as Tyler. So bringing this down to race or colorism, I'm not saying these things don't exist, they do, but I don't think it's relevant in this situation. And someone else was saying something about that woman is off. Her demeanor is always weird. Haley did right. It was the here, take this that ain't right. You only been famous for 15 months. She's been in the business for years. Humble yourself, yo. And someone said, girl, cultural difference or not, learn how to act when you're over here. And that was just I don't know. I feel like it's being blown out of proportion. I think people have done worse things and who deserve to be told all these things people are saying. And also, what do you mean something is off about Tyler? What is there something? You know, if you're going to say you hate someone or you think something is off about someone, the least you could do is come with the information, come with the data. I mean, tell us. The least you could do is be specific. What is it you don't like about someone? Saying something is off about someone is so ambiguous, you know. By the time you're deciding to voice it, I get the feeling sometimes you can think something is off, but keep quiet until you're sure, right? Anyway, Tyler responded and said, you all make everything weird. I was not asking my girl Haley, we just girls. Shut the fuck up. I won a VMA. Yo, I didn't think Tyler was this spicy. And honestly, I'm living for it. Go girl. Because you know what? Sometimes these trolls, they just do too much. And Haley responded by showing Tyler some love and support. She said, exactly. Love you, babes. Congrats. So I don't think Haley took it that seriously, and maybe people are overthinking. And you know what? Personally, I'd never defend someone who doesn't want me defending them. And clearly, Haley doesn't want you guys defending her. So why are you putting on your costumes and going online to bash Tyler for someone who's clearly still friends with Tyler. It's weird. Like, I feel like if Haley had kept quiet, maybe you could take that as a sign of Haley feeling offended, but she didn't keep quiet. She went out of her way to back Tyler up on Twitter. So clearly, these guys are good. There's no issue here. So who are you to blow it out of proportion? And in the end, Haley didn't take their word, which I was happy about too, because I love it when girls, especially black girls, are in their soft era. So I'm glad Haley didn't step in to be like, you know what, it's so heavy for you. Let me carry it for you. She also just stood there laid back. That's a representation of black women I love to see. And instead of blowing this into this negative thing, I think that's where the light should have been shown. People would have been like, yes, black girls in their soft girl era, because black girls have been portrayed as these strong women who need to just put up with such degrading and demanding things. And it's good to see black women being like laid back and like, you know what, this is too heavy for me, I don't want to carry it, can someone else carry it? It's something I think we as a society should promote more of. So instead of missing out on promoting more of that, as a community, black people are deciding to shine light on a woman not wanting to carry something heavy and be like, you wanted to make someone else the help. Anyway, so popular blogger Armon Wiggins stepped in, and of course, he had to monetize the situation and bring some light to him. And he said, "Hey, I don't think I like Tyler's personality. I think someone needs to check her because she doesn't understand American culture at all. She almost gives off entitled or uppity African. I don't know how to explain it, but it's very off-putting, and it's almost like she expects people to just fall at her feet." Well, just some background information. Just before this happened, a day before the VMAs, Tyler was meeting with Asha, and Asha was trying to dance with Tyler, and Tyler kind of didn't want to dance on Asha. So she kind of like almost ran away from Asha. And before that, towards the end of last year, Kaisena, who's a popular American streamer, told Tyler that he's into her, and Tyler was like, "No, we are just friends." And also, sometime back, Tyler was doing an interview with the Breakfast Club, and she was very serious about the kind of questions she wants to be asked and the kind of questions she doesn't want to be asked. And when the Breakfast Club asked her the questions she didn't want to be asked, she simply refused to answer. So when you put all these things together, you can see why someone will think Tyler is entitled or uppity. But I see someone with boundaries, and I see someone who understands what they want for themselves and who's not afraid to ask what they want for themselves. Tyler then responded to Armon Wiggins by changing her Twitter bio, and she wrote entitled Uppity African. Yo, when I tell you this really even created more uproar, it's like there was a fire, and the fire was almost dying down. And then Tyler just brings some really nice wood and puts it in the fire, and now it starts cracking up again. People couldn't believe like Tyler is being obnoxious, I guess. They're like, how dare she, you're already in our bad books. We already don't like you. And then what? You're claiming it? How dare you? And look, I live for that. I love when celebs do that. Like, if people are painting you some type of way, claim it. Don't go apologizing. Don't I think that's why that works for Cardi B. Cardi B doesn't try to be like responsible, ethical. She's just like it's like lowering the standards and lowering people's expectations so that they don't expect too much and put too much pressure on you. So I think this is something good for Tyler to do early in her career. I think her manager is telling her it's time to separate the wheat from the chaff, and in this case the wheat is her fans and the chaff are her haters. So she's going to make it clear there's a line. She doesn't want everyone, she just wants specific people. You love her or you hate her. And I think that is the strategy they're taking right now. So the wheat, Tyler's fans, came through and someone said, "This is why you don't like Tyler." And they pulled up Amon Wiggins' Spotify charts. Amon Wiggins recently released an EP and he has barely 2,000 Spotify listeners, and Tyler has over 30,000 listeners. And someone else said, I don't think the world, Black Americans, were ready for an African pop star. And Tyler, being colored with no impoverished background, just a pretty girl from Joburg with all that confidence, arriving when there is a massive gap in the market, proudly carrying her heritage is a mind fuck. And you know what? I agree, it's a serious mind fuck. I guess people were expecting someone who was going to sing about how they've made it in the world, or like hardships and struggle. You know, even Buju Banton recently did an interview where he said he hates Afrobeats because he thinks Afrobeat artists are sellouts. They're not singing about the struggle. They're not singing about how they've made it from, I don't know what, the jungle. Anyway, someone else said, I don't like Tyler and I can't put my finger on it. It's called being uncomfortable with an African artist being popular in the mainstream industry that you think your favorite artist should be thriving in. Oh, I agree. I couldn't agree more. And I've come across many bios by upcoming American artists who are so angry at African artists. Sometimes it's Burna Boy, sometimes it's Tyler, and sometimes I just look at someone's bio and it's like upcoming artist. Someone is so angry, like how could an African come from Africa and beat me in my own homeland? I'm literally American, you know. So Americans have, what can I call it? They have superiority complex, and they have it towards everyone, be it the Brits, the Japanese, the Chinese, and that is something they have. It's like standard. And then you are an African, a mere African. The I think the entitlement goes over the roof. It's funny to see, you know. Yeah. So while I understand both sides, I understand how it looked. I understand the optics. I do understand that. I feel like Tyler has brought in this level of boundaries that have not been seen in quite a long while. I mean, who have you ever seen refusing to dance with Asha? I mean, Kiki Palmer has been in the industry for so long. She's been in the same rooms with the who's and who's. She's been a movie star. She has actually been a star longer than Tyler, and she danced on Asha. And then here comes this young African girl who recently just had her 15 minutes of fame and she's refusing to dance on Asha. People cannot believe that. It's blowing their minds. And then 24 hours later, she's asking someone to hold her award, and the only two people who are available to hold the award are Lil Nas X and Hailey Bailey. Who the fuck does this African uppity entitled B word think she is? Yo, I understand the optics, I do, but honestly, it's never that deep. And intentions really matter. Two people could slap you. One person could slap you with the intention of removing a mosquito that's on your cheek, and another person could slap you with the intention of harming you. They've both done the same thing, but the intentions are different. And in this case, I don't think Tyler's intention was to like san Hailey Bailey. Secondly, I think African artists, including Thames and Erasta, they're coming into an industry where they're finding that people already look down on them. So it's like they have to have so much confidence to compensate for you already looking down on them. So it's like if you already think you're a 10, you can no longer just think you're a 10. You have to think you're like a 20 or a 21, because you find that people think you're like a negative one. Why? Just because you're African. And it's something I can see even in Thames interviews. Thames doesn't play. She's quick to shut a motherfucker up. And someone else was saying that Tyler is a diva, and that is what we need. We need divas back. So this person said, y'all have been begging for divas, but cannot take Tyler's personality. Listen, I'm here for Tyler's personality and I'm here for more divas. Bring divas back. We have enough sexy reds. We have enough Suki Hanas. We could use some more divas, and it doesn't mean that Tyler was trying to sun anyone. What I saw were two divas. Hailey was a diva, Tyler was a diva, and that's the kind of representation we need for black women. This should have been celebrated. Instead, as a community, we decided to shine light on something negative and try to humble someone because we think they are not as humble as we think they are. It's like, how dare you think highly of yourself, you know? We need to check ourselves for that, because leave the humbling to God. God does the humbling. He looks down and he looks at who thinks they're better than they are. But you, a fellow human, that's not your job. Anyway, thank you for joining me, and bye bye.